The Lord told me to warn you. Very soon you will leave your home and not return. This is not just a move. This is not just relocation. This is a divine transition. Heaven is shifting your life. And if you're reading this now, it's not by chance. It's because you are chosen to receive this revelation. God says, "Arise, go out from your land and from your kindred to the land that I will show you." Genesis 12:1. Something is about to change drastically. You've started to feel it, haven't you? Restlessness, discomfort, unusual delays. Doors that once opened easily are now shut tight. These are not accidents. This is the sound of heaven preparing your exit. Someone has been praying for answers, asking, "Lord, what's happening? Why does it feel like I no longer belong here?" This is your answer. You are being moved by divine order. But before you pack your bags, before you walk out that door, there are warnings you must hear, instructions you must follow, and blessings you must not leave behind. If you feel chills right now, stay until the very end. This may be the last message you receive before the shift occurs. The voice of God is calling you. You may not have heard it audibly, but the signs have been clear. The nudging in your spirit, the unease in familiar places, the sudden silence from people you once depended on. This is how God speaks when He's calling you out. "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." John 10:27. God's voice doesn't always come with thunder. Sometimes it's a subtle discomfort, a holy disturbance in your soul. You've been looking around your current situation, your home, your job, your relationships, and you felt something's not right anymore. That something is spiritual. You are outgrowing the space you were once comfortable in, not because you failed, but because you obeyed. This moment in your life is not ordinary. This is a sacred transition. The same way God called Abraham out, Moses out of Egypt, and Joseph out of the prison, He is calling you out of the familiar and into the promised. But the enemy wants to distract you. He wants you to stay where you are, trapped in comfort, trapped in fear, unsure if that voice is really from God. Let me confirm it for you now. It is. The time of departure is near. Listen closely. Your time in this place is coming to an end. God is not suggesting. He is declaring. He is preparing you for a divine exodus, an appointed moment when you will be called to leave behind the familiar and step into a completely new dimension of your life. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. This is your time to transition. Have you noticed how you no longer feel at peace where you are? How people you used to trust suddenly feel distant? How even the walls of your home, the furniture, the daily routine, all feel strangely outdated, like you're living in someone else's space. That's not random. That's spiritual. The grace for that season has lifted. When God removes His grace from a location or a situation, things begin to feel dry, heavy, and uncomfortable, not to punish you, but to push you forward. Let me say this clearly. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. Some of you have held on to the place you're in because of sentiment. Maybe you raised your children there. Maybe it's all you've ever known. Maybe you're afraid that moving forward means starting over. But let me remind you, God never calls you away without already having a place prepared for you. He says in John 14:2, "In my Father's house are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you." This is not just about a physical house. It's about a new spiritual dwelling, a home where your peace will return, a home where provision will flow again, a home where you will meet new divine appointments and assignments that cannot happen until you obey and leave the old behind. Right now, I want you to declare your faith in the comments. Write this down below so the angels can witness your agreement. I am ready for my new home. I trust God's timing. Don't hesitate. That comment is your act of surrender. It is your public declaration to the enemy that you are not staying stuck. You are not staying behind. You are moving forward with heaven. The devil has tried to distract you with fear. He has whispered lies. You're too old to start over. What if you lose everything? What if this is all in your head? But the voice of God is louder than fear. And He is saying, do not be afraid. I am with you. I will go before you. I will bring you into the land I have prepared for you. Take a deep breath right now. Let that settle into your spirit, because very soon you will look back on this moment and say, that was the day everything changed. Why is God removing you from where you are? There's something you need to understand today. God doesn't remove you from a place unless He knows what's ahead. He sees what you can't see. He hears what you haven't heard. He knows what waits around the corner. And sometimes His greatest act of love is to interrupt your comfort before it becomes your prison. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. Isaiah 55:8. Some people think you're just being emotional. Some may say you're overreacting, but you know deep inside something isn't right anymore. That place you once called home, it feels off, heavy, cold, empty, even when it's full. God is lifting you out of that environment because it no longer carries His presence for your next season. You need to hear this. What once was a blessing can become a burden if you stay beyond your season. There was a time when that house, that neighborhood, that job, or that relationship felt like divine favor, and it was. But now the winds have changed. And if you ignore this divine signal, you may end up fighting to preserve something God has already left. Look at Lot's wife. God told her to leave the city, but her heart stayed in what God was destroying. She looked back, and in one moment of hesitation, she lost her future. Don't look back. Right now, I want to speak this prophetically. God is removing you to protect you. You may not see the storm yet. You may not understand why the doors are closing or why certain people are acting differently. But mark this, every divine relocation starts with disconnection. God is cutting the cords. He's making you uncomfortable on purpose. Why? Because if you felt too comfortable, you would never move. You'd stay in the same room, breathing the same stale air, living beneath your calling. And that is not what you were created for. God is saying to you now, I'm taking you somewhere higher. But you can't take everyone and everything with you. There are people in your life who cannot go where you're going. There are habits you must release. There are possessions, even physical objects, that carry the energy of your old life. Let them go. This is not a step back. This is divine elevation. Sometimes God has to break your routine to save your soul. And now I want you to respond in the comments. Write this not as a suggestion, but as a declaration. Lord, remove me from anything that blocks my destiny. Say it with authority. Type it like a warrior. Let your comment be a sword in the spirit. Let hell see you're not clinging to comfort. You're clinging to calling. This is your moment of surrender. And every time someone writes that phrase, we are creating a chain of faith, one voice at a time, declaring, we will go where God sends us. We will not resist the move, because what's waiting for you next is bigger than anything you're leaving behind. The beginning of discomfort. When the place no longer fits you, do you feel like your life no longer fits in the space you're in? It's like wearing a coat that used to feel warm, but now it's tight at the shoulders, heavy on the back, and hard to move in. Let me tell you, that's not just age, emotion, or imagination. That's spiritual friction. God is waking you up. He's sounding the alarm, not with loud sirens, but with silence, with unease, with restlessness. And it's happening because you've outgrown this chapter. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? Isaiah 43:19. God is trying to move you into the new, but the old place is trying to keep you small. That environment used to be a blessing, but now it feels tight, doesn't it? The air is heavier. The joy comes slower. The peace doesn't last. That's not coincidence. That's spiritual expiration. When God removes His peace from a place, that's a sign this is no longer where you belong. You may be trying to clean it up, repaint it, rearrange it. But no matter how much you change the room, the feeling remains the same. This isn't where I'm supposed to be anymore. God doesn't want you to decorate your discomfort. He wants you to discern it. Some of you have even been battling confusion. Why do I feel so unsettled in a place I once loved? Why do I feel like I'm slowly suffocating in my own home or job or even in certain relationships? Because the grace for that place is gone. And when the grace lifts, the pressure builds. That's when God is saying, you were never meant to stay here forever. Look at the eagle. When it's time for the baby eagles to leave the nest, the mother eagle starts removing the soft feathers and exposing the thorns underneath. Why? Because comfort can kill a calling. If the baby eagle doesn't feel discomfort, it will never learn to fly. So God, in His mercy, starts pulling the feathers out of your nest. That's what's happening to you right now. The job that once brought security now brings stress. The home that once echoed with laughter now feels like a burden. The city that once felt full of promise now feels like a prison. This is not a failure. It's a holy shift. And God is saying, I am not punishing you. I'm positioning you. But hear this warning. If you ignore the discomfort, if you resist the stirring, you risk missing the door when it opens. You must not delay. This moment is sacred. This restlessness you feel is the whisper of heaven telling you, prepare, pack your faith. I'm taking you somewhere better. And now, I want you to engage your faith with your words. Write this boldly in the comments. Let it echo into the spirit realm. I will not stay where the grace has lifted. Declare it as a line drawn in the sand. Declare it as your covenant with God. Say it with your whole heart. I will not stay where the grace has lifted. Your comment is not for an algorithm. It's for alignment. Each word typed is a key turning a door in the spirit. Don't scroll past this moment. You are being called out of the old and into the new. And this discomfort, it's not punishment, it's prophecy. Spiritual signs that you are about to move. You may be wondering, how can I know for sure that God is the one leading me out? God never moves in silence without also sending spiritual signs. These signs may not come through thunder or dreams or angels standing at your door, but they do come. And they come consistently for those who are listening with the Spirit. Surely the sovereign Lord does nothing without revealing His plan to His servants, the prophets. Amos 3:7. Let me reveal to you the hidden signs that you may already be experiencing. Deep disconnection from familiar places. Suddenly, the spaces you once loved feel foreign. Rooms you filled with memories now feel emotionally blank. Your spirit becomes quiet, heavy, or even burdened when you walk through the door. That's not just a mood. That's spiritual detachment. God is gently untethering your soul from the old to make room for the new. Unexplained delay or frustration in daily life. Everything becomes harder. Small things break. Communication fails. Things that used to work begin falling apart with no logical reason. This is not chaos. It's a divine interruption. God is preventing you from becoming too attached to what you should be preparing to leave. Increased sensitivity in your spirit. You've been crying more, feeling things more deeply, waking up at unusual times, especially around 3:00 a.m. with an unexplained urgency or weight on your heart. That's the Holy Spirit stirring you, aligning your inner world with a coming shift. Sudden separation from certain people. Phone calls stop. Text messages go unanswered. People who were once close become distant. You may feel betrayed, but don't. This is divine pruning. Not everyone can go with you into the next chapter. God is making room for new alignments, new voices, and new assignments. Repeated numbers, words, or scriptures. Have you been seeing the same verse over and over? Do certain numbers keep appearing, like 11, 11, 444, or 8, 8? Has a particular phrase been coming to you in songs, in conversations, in your thoughts? This is how the spirit realm works. Heaven confirms messages through repetition. God is not trying to confuse you. He is preparing you. Right now, I want you to pause and reflect. Which of these signs have you been experiencing lately? If even one of these signs is showing up in your life, that's no accident. That's confirmation. You are being positioned for departure. God is pulling you out to plant you somewhere else, somewhere higher, somewhere holier, somewhere you will breathe again. Do not dismiss these signs. To ignore them is to miss divine timing, and timing is everything in the spirit. A late move can lead to unnecessary pain, but an obedient move opens up the blessings that have been waiting for your arrival. Now I want you to do something powerful. Speak with your faith. Write this in the comments as a prophetic confirmation. I see the signs. I'm ready, Lord. Lead me. Let the devil hear it. Let the heavens witness it. Write it not as a wish, but as a divine agreement. When you type those words, you're not just commenting. You are unlocking movement. You are responding to God's call. You are saying, yes, I won't stay. I won't delay. I will follow. And as you do, feel this in your spirit. A door is opening even now. God is preparing you for the new. Before God takes you into a new place, He takes you through a season of preparation. Because the next level of blessing will require a stronger level of faith, obedience, and trust. You're not just changing homes. You're crossing into a new spiritual dimension. That's why things have been uncomfortable. That's why your spirit has felt stretched, pressed, and even confused at times. Because before promotion comes preparation. Behold, I have refined you, but not as silver. I have tested you in the furnace of affliction. Isaiah 48:10. You've been in the furnace not because God is angry with you, but because He is refining you for what's coming next. Right now, you are being trained in hidden ways. God is building endurance through your waiting. He is building discernment through your loneliness. He is building obedience through closed doors. He is building faith through silence. You may have felt forgotten. You may have asked, Lord, where are you? Why aren't things moving? But what you don't realize is things are moving inside of you. Sometimes God works in the silence to make sure you're ready for the sound of breakthrough. Because when the new season comes, you cannot hesitate. You must be ready to walk through the door the moment it opens. You can't carry old wounds into new places. You can't bring bitterness into your blessing. You can't take yesterday's fears into tomorrow's favor. And so He prepares you. He strips what doesn't serve you. He humbles you not to hurt you, but to anchor your character so your promotion doesn't destroy your purpose. Let me say this. God will never give you a new house if He knows your heart still lives in the old one. This preparation is for you to detach spiritually before you move physically, so that when the time comes, you're not just ready, you're whole. You may be thinking, but I'm tired. I've been waiting for so long. And the Lord says, I know, but I have seen your labor, and I am not unjust to forget your sacrifice. Hebrews 6:10. He is preparing you because He trusts you with more. He trusts you to lead others. He trusts you to carry favor. He trusts you to walk in miracles. But He must prepare you first. So right now, if your heart is open and your spirit says yes, I want you to type this declaration in the comments. Lord, prepare me for the blessing. I won't resist your process. Yes, write it out. Say it with reverence. Let it be your surrender and your agreement. Let heaven see your name attached to that prayer. Because this comment is more than text, it is preparation in motion. And if this message has touched your heart in any way, if you felt like this word was meant just for you and you want to say thank you, not to me but to God, for using this message to reach you, I humbly invite you to leave a super thanks below. Not out of obligation, not because you must, but because your heart is moved, because generosity is a form of worship, because when you sow into the Word, you create space for the Word to grow in you. Even a small gesture of thanks can open doors. Before I continue, my beloved child, allow me to pause, for there is a sacred secret I've kept just for you, and now is the moment I choose to reveal it. I bet $100 this manifestation technique works. Every week I coach 5 to 10 people who, no matter what, can't make the law of attraction work for them. 3 weeks ago, I wanted to prove a point to the group. I bet $100 with each one of them. The bet was simple. Try this extremely simple manifestation technique. If within 10 days you don't manifest at least 10 times that sum, $100 x 10 equals $1,000. You win. From 7 people who took the bet, 6 lost, meaning they manifested at least $1,000. $2 of them manifested over $4K. By the way, click the link in the description or comments section to unlock the secret. Here is the technique for you to try out. If you are wondering what happened with the 7th person, she dropped out for personal family reasons and never even tried the technique. My beloved child, now is the time to act. Step forward in faith. God bless you. But whatever you give it with a heart full of faith. And above all, never forget you are being prepared for something greater. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. The enemy will try to stop you from advancing. If God has promised you a new season, a new home, a new beginning, you must expect resistance. Every time God prepares to elevate someone, the enemy shows up to oppose it. He doesn't fight what's stagnant. He doesn't resist what's already dead. But the moment something begins to move, The moment heaven begins to stir, the enemy starts to attack. For a great and effective door has opened to me, and there are many adversaries. 1 Corinthians 16:9. Did you hear that? The door is open, but the adversaries are many. That's why lately you've felt more pressure, more confusion, more spiritual warfare than ever before. Have you noticed how just as you begin to get clarity, distraction hits? Just when peace starts to rise, a conflict breaks out. Just when you take a step of faith, something tries to knock you down. This isn't random. This is a strategic attack meant to paralyze your movement and make you doubt what you heard from God. Let me say this plainly. The enemy is terrified of your next season. He knows that the moment you walk through that divine door, chains will break, blessings will activate, and others will be set free through your obedience. So what does he do? He sends fear, whispering, "You're not ready." He sends delay, so you start thinking maybe you misheard God. He sends discouragement, so you start asking, "What's the point?" He even sends people, yes, people, to plant doubt, to speak fear, to keep you grounded in the familiar. But here's the truth the devil doesn't want you to remember. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, Isaiah 54:17. Yes, the weapons will form. Yes, the resistance will rise, but they will not prosper, because when God sends you, He also goes before you. He has already fought battles in rooms you haven't entered yet. He has already sent angels to clear the path you have not walked yet. But you must stay alert. You must stay armored. You must refuse to back down when pressure comes. This is not the time to retreat. This is the time to press forward in faith, knowing that resistance is a sign that you're getting closer to the breakthrough. I want you to take spiritual authority right now. And I want you to type this in the comments as your battle cry of faith. No enemy can stop what God has prepared for me. Yes, say it out loud as you type it. Feel the strength rise in your spirit. You are not a victim. You are a vessel of destiny. And every time someone declares this in the comments, chains break, fear loses its grip, doubt begins to fade, and angels are dispatched in response to your faith. Your comment is not just a comment. It is a spiritual act of war. You are reminding the enemy you can try, but you cannot win. So walk forward with your head high and your spirit armed. You are not walking alone. Heaven is backing your every step. Letting go is required for the promise to be fulfilled. You cannot step into your promised land with your hands full of yesterday. Let that settle in your spirit. Many people miss divine appointments, not because they lack faith in what's coming, but because they are too attached to what has already passed. Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Isaiah 43:18-19. God is trying to bring you into something new, but you keep trying to carry everything from the old. And here's the truth. You can't take Egypt into the promised land. You can't carry the mindset of bondage into a land of freedom. You can't bring relationships, habits, mentalities, and objects that were meant only for a previous version of you into a future that's already been sanctified by God. He is not just relocating your body, He's shifting your identity. Some of you are holding on to friendships that drain your faith, family dynamics rooted in control, not love, emotional wounds from 10, 20, even 30 years ago, fear of losing stability, guilt about what you're leaving behind. But hear this now. If you don't let go, you can't take hold. When Abraham was called to leave his father's house, he had to leave everything familiar. When Lot was led out of Sodom, the angels told him, "Do not look back." His wife looked, and she turned to salt. Why? Because your loyalty to the past can destroy your future. You are being invited into something higher. But God is saying you must leave behind what no longer carries His presence. This may mean walking away from toxic conversations, clearing out objects in your home that carry old spiritual energy, ending cycles of regret, and above all, trusting God with the things you cannot fix or take with you. Letting go is not failure. Letting go is faith. It is believing that what God has prepared is greater than what you are releasing. And though your heart may grieve the loss, your spirit will breathe again. So now I ask you to take a bold spiritual step. I want you to type this in the comments as your declaration of freedom and trust. I let go of what no longer belongs to my future. Yes, write it from your heart. Say it as a spiritual act. Say it through the tears if you must, because your letting go is what activates the promise. And if this word is touching you deeply, if something in your heart is breaking but also being rebuilt, that means the Holy Spirit is working. Don't resist it. This is your moment to release and receive. Heaven cannot fill hands that are already full. So open your hands, let go, and watch what God puts in them next. The new home is also a new spiritual season. Don't be mistaken. God is not simply relocating your body. He is shifting your season, your atmosphere, your assignment, and your identity. When God says, "I am taking you to a new home," He's not just talking about 4 walls and a roof. He is saying, "I am moving you into a realm where you will hear me more clearly, see me more often, and walk with me more closely. I will bring them to my holy mountain and give them joy in my house of prayer." Isaiah 56:7. This new place you are being led to, it's not just for comfort. It is consecrated. It is not just a blessing. It is an altar. It will be the place where heaven will visit you in new ways. Your prayer life will deepen. Peace will return to your soul. Prophetic dreams will increase. Spiritual authority will rise within you. Your new home is the beginning of a new dimension. Some of you have spent years living in homes where the atmosphere was heavy, dark, and spiritually dry. Homes where arguments echoed louder than worship. Rooms where your spirit couldn't rest. corners where fear and anxiety lingered. And now God says, I am bringing you into a space where my presence will dwell again. I will bless the air. I will anoint the walls. I will send angels to guard the doors. And I will meet you there morning by morning and night by night. This new place is not about square footage. It's about spiritual function. God is not just giving you a house. He is giving you an altar, a sanctuary, a tabernacle of visitation. But listen carefully. With new space comes new responsibility. You must prepare your heart. You must keep the atmosphere pure. You must protect the peace because the new season won't come without warfare. But now you will have the authority to overcome it. And that's why you've been under such heavy pressure. That's why the enemy fought you so hard. Because he knew once you entered that new place, you would never be the same again. You would begin to walk in your anointing, speak with power, break generational curses, restore what was lost, lead others into healing and freedom. You are not just moving, you are crossing over. Like Joshua and the Israelites, you are stepping out of the wilderness and into the land of promise. But now you must declare it right here, right now. Write this in the comments below, not just as a hope, but as a prophetic alignment with heaven. This new home will be a place of peace, presence, and purpose. Say it again out loud as you type it. This new home will be a place of peace, presence, and purpose. This declaration is a banner over your future. It's a signal to the angels. It's a warning to the enemy. And it's a promise to your own soul. You will never live the same way again. You're not just stepping into a building. You're stepping into destiny. What you need to leave behind. Before God takes you into the new, He will ask you to release what no longer belongs, not out of cruelty, but out of love. Because some things, if carried with you, would contaminate the blessing ahead. Do not bring a detestable thing into your house, or you, like it, will be set apart for destruction. Deuteronomy 7:26. What do you need to leave behind? Let's be honest, you already know. There's a quiet voice in your heart that has whispered it before, but you've pushed it aside, saying, it's just a memory, it's just a person, it's just an object. But that just may be the very thing blocking the fullness of what God wants to give you. There are physical things that carry spiritual weight. Clothes you keep from a past relationship that brought pain, photos or objects tied to trauma or sin, gifts from people who once blessed you but whose spirits now bring conflict. These things may look harmless on the outside, but they carry spiritual residue. And when you bring the old into the new, you risk planting seeds of confusion where God meant to plant peace. But it's not just physical. There are spiritual and emotional burdens you must leave behind too. The bitterness from that betrayal, the guilt over past decisions, the regret for years you feel were wasted, the shame you've hidden deep in your heart, even from those closest to you. These emotions are not luggage for your next journey. They are weights, and the longer you carry them, the heavier you become. God is saying, lay them down. I've already paid for them. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. 1 Peter 5:7. The hardest part isn't knowing what to leave behind. It's trusting God enough to let it go. Some of you are afraid to leave certain people, even when you know they're not walking in the same direction. Some of you are attached to patterns, places, even pain because it's familiar. But familiarity is not always faith, and comfort is not always calling. To step into your God-ordained future, you must walk light, and that means letting go of the things that can't go with you. God is calling you into a house filled with peace, a season marked by healing, a purpose fueled by clarity and confidence. But he will not place his promises on a foundation of compromise. Right now, take a breath and ask yourself, what am I holding that God never asked me to carry? What am I protecting that God is trying to remove? Be honest with yourself. Be brave. And then I want you to take this powerful step of faith. Write this in the comments. Lord, I leave behind what no longer serves my future. Say it out loud as you type. Let your fingers agree with your spirit. Let the act of writing be your moment of release. Let it be the sound of your soul saying, I'm ready now. I'm not afraid. I trust you more than I trust my history. God sees this. He honors surrender. And when he sees you let go, he starts to put new things in motion. So don't hold back. Don't delay. What you release today may be the key that unlocks tomorrow, the promise of prosperity in the new land. You need to hear this clearly. God is not leading you into lack. He is leading you into abundance. The move, the shift, the discomfort, the letting go, it's all been preparing you for this. A land flowing with milk and honey, Exodus 3:8. A land where you will lack nothing, Deuteronomy 8:9. You may have known years of survival, but what's ahead is a season of overflow. And when I say prosperity, I don't mean just money. I mean wholeness. I mean restoration. I mean divine supply in every area of your life. Yes, finances will flow. Yes, debts will be cleared. Yes, opportunities will open. But beyond that, you will walk in peace you forgot was possible, sleep that's deep and healing, joy that doesn't need a reason, friendships sent by heaven, health returning to your bones, confidence rising in your voice, a sense of purpose so strong that waking up will feel like a gift again. God is saying, I didn't just bring you out, I'm bringing you into something greater. This new home will not just shelter your body, it will revive your dreams. But listen closely. Prosperity requires posture. You must walk in gratitude. You must guard your heart from old mentalities of lack. You must treat the new place as holy because this blessing is not common. It's covenant. It is the fulfillment of what God whispered to you years ago when no one else believed. It is the reward for your secret tears, for your midnight prayers, for your moments of quiet obedience. You didn't miss it. You didn't ruin it. You are arriving right on time. But hear this warning. You must not carry poverty in your mindset into a land of blessing. That means no more saying, "It's too late for me. I don't deserve this. I'll never get ahead. It always works for others, but not for me." That is not your voice. That's the echo of your old prison. And God is saying today, let it die in the wilderness. I'm giving you something better. So declare with me now, I receive the prosperity of the Lord. This new land will overflow with His goodness. Write it in the comments. Type it as if heaven is reading over your shoulder, because it is. I receive the prosperity of the Lord. This new land will overflow with His goodness. Let that declaration break every generational curse of lack. Let it plant a flag of faith in your future. Let it be your signature on the covenant of abundance. And if this word has stirred your spirit, if something deep inside of you is saying, "This is for me. This is my season," then I invite you with respect and love to sow a super thanks as an offering of faith, not to buy a blessing, because blessings aren't for sale, but to honor what God is doing in your life, to say with your giving what your heart is already shouting. I believe, I trust, I receive. You're not just changing your location. You're stepping into a harvest that was written in heaven with your name on it. And the soil of this new land, it's fertile, it's blessed, and it's yours. Angels are going ahead to open the way. What if I told you you're not going alone? Even before your feet touch the soil of your new home, heaven is already there. Before you ever lift a box, sign a paper, or say goodbye to the old life, God has already sent angels ahead of you. Behold, I send an angel before you to guard you on the way and to bring you to the place I have prepared. Exodus 23:20. Did you catch that? Not only has God prepared a place, He has also prepared protection for the journey. That means you're not just being called, you're being escorted. Angels have gone ahead of you to clear obstacles you didn't even know were waiting, to close doors that look tempting but would have harmed your destiny, to soften hearts of people who will favor you, to set divine appointments that will align your next steps, to surround your next home with peace and protection. These are not ordinary shifts. This is supernatural relocation. Some of you have felt the warfare recently, not just emotionally but spiritually. Sleepless nights, strange dreams, unexplained resistance. And do you know why? Because when angels move, so does the enemy. He tries to sow doubt. He tries to bring confusion. He sends voices that sound concerned but are really rooted in fear. But here's the truth. The presence of warfare confirms the presence of angelic movement. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear Him and delivers them. Psalm 34:7. You are surrounded, even now in your current home, as you listen to this word. Angels are standing guard. You may not see them, but you felt the shift in the air, the peace that comes when worship fills the room, the comfort you can't explain. That's not emotion. That's angelic presence. Some of you will walk into your new home and feel a holy stillness. Others will find favor in places they were once rejected. Doors will open without effort. You'll look back and say, I don't know how everything came together so perfectly. But you'll know God sent angels before you. He did it for Israel. He did it for Joseph. He did it for Mary and Joseph in Bethlehem. And He's doing it for you. This move is not random. It is prescheduled by heaven, and the preparations are already underway. Now, I want you to declare this with your whole heart and write it in the comments. The angels of the Lord have gone before me. My way is prepared. Yes, type it. Let it echo in the spirit. The angels of the Lord have gone before me. My way is prepared. Say it aloud as you write it. Say it as a warrior, as a son or daughter of the Most High. Let the enemy hear it. Let the heavens record it. Because when you speak in agreement with God, you activate what's already been assigned to you. And if this message is confirming something in your spirit, if you feel the presence of God while reading these words, let your heart respond. You can sow a super thanks, not out of pressure, but as a way to say, Father, thank you for going ahead of me. Before I continue, my beloved child, allow me to pause. For there is a sacred secret I've kept just for you, and now is the moment I choose to reveal it. Download 77-letter wealth invocation prayer, recite, attract. Pope Francis, Pope Benedict XVI, Pope John Paul II, the Dalai Lama, Prince William, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and you wouldn't believe who else. Go to this place to invoke miracles. This 2,000-year-old wall is known for its divine prowess. Just last year, the secret to its extraordinary strength was discovered. Hidden beneath its stones lies a 77-letter invocation prayer, the source of its power. Most importantly, it was revealed that daily recitation of this prayer becomes a magnetic force, attracting wealth, health, happiness, and limitless abundance. Click the link in the description or comments section to unlock the secret of download the 77-letter invocation prayer right here. Trust me, once you witness the undeniable proof, you'll recognize it as nothing short of a miracle. My beloved child, now is the time to act. Step forward in faith. God bless you. Thank you for the angels, the favor, the protection, and the path you've prepared. This is more than a move. This is a divine mission, and you are not walking it alone. Protect yourself while preparing for the shift. You are in the most delicate part of the process right now. The transition, the place between what was and what will be. And it is here, in this holy in-between, that the enemy tries hardest to interfere. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. 1 Peter 5:8. The moment God declares a shift, hell starts to send distractions, delays, and deceptions. Why? Because the enemy cannot stop God's plan, but he will try to stop your preparation. He'll whisper, "You still have time. There's no rush." Maybe that word wasn't really for you. Things aren't so bad where you are. Maybe you should just stay. These lies are seeds of doubt meant to make you spiritually lazy and emotionally numb right before your breakthrough. But now you know better. You've come too far. You've seen too much. You've felt the stirring in your spirit. You've seen the signs. You've heard the voice of God. So now it's time to protect yourself as you get ready to step forward. How do you protect yourself during spiritual transition? 1. Guard your atmosphere. Do not allow chaos, gossip, or conflict into your environment. Turn off voices that weaken your spirit. Play worship. Speak scripture aloud. Fill your home with praise and intercession. Create an atmosphere where heaven is comfortable and hell is uncomfortable. 2. Limit your conversations. Not everyone deserves access to what God is doing in you. This season is sacred, not social. Talk less, pray more. Share less, discern more. God is doing something private in you that will soon become public. 3. Fast and pray intentionally. Fasting clears your spiritual senses. It trains your flesh to yield to the Spirit. You don't need to fast out of fear. You fast out of focus because what's ahead is so significant. You must sharpen your discernment to hear God clearly. 4. Protect your physical health. Sleep, hydrate, rest, eat foods that strengthen your body. You are not just preparing your spirit. Your body is the vessel that will carry this blessing forward. 5. Anoint your home and declare the word. Even before you move, begin to anoint the doors, windows, and rooms of your current space. Declare aloud, "This house belongs to God." No spirit of fear, confusion, or sabotage is welcome here. Your words have power. Your authority is real. This is not paranoia, it's preparation. The enemy doesn't fight what isn't moving. He fights what is about to rise, and you are about to rise. So don't be passive, don't be casual, be vigilant, be intentional. Be fierce in the spirit. You are a carrier of God's promise, and this promise is fragile in its infancy. It must be covered until it is delivered. Now I ask you, right now, as an act of spiritual protection and agreement, type this in the comments. I protect my promise. I prepare my spirit. I will not be distracted. Write it from your heart. Let it be your spiritual armor. Let it declare to heaven and to hell that you are awake, aware, and aligned with your calling. And if this message pierced something deep inside you, if you feel the weight and holiness of what's being spoken, take a moment to honor God with your words, your prayers. And yes, if you feel led, even with a super thanks as a sign of covenant, not convenience, not for me, but for the seed of this word that's now taking root in you. Protect the shift. Protect your soul. Protect your future, because what's coming is worth it all. Testimonies of those who were moved by God to a new place. You are not the first to be called out. You are not the only one being asked to leave behind the familiar, and you are certainly not the last. But you are part of a holy pattern, a divine tradition of obedience that always ends in blessing. Throughout history and even in our time, there are those who heard the call to go and trusted God enough to move. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Revelation 12:11. These testimonies are not stories. They are weapons. They remind you that if God did it for them, He can and will do it for you. Let me share with you just a few of these holy stories. Maria, 67, moved after 40 years in the same house. Maria had lived in the same home for over 4 decades. It held memories, pain, prayers, but something shifted. She began waking up every night with a sense that something is ending. She watched this very message and felt God say, "I have something better for you, but you must trust me completely." Against all logic, she sold her home and moved across the country. 2 months later, she was living in a peaceful senior community, surrounded by believers and more financially stable than she had been in years. She said, "I didn't just change my address, I recovered my joy." Alan, 58, left a toxic environment. After years of delays, Alan had delayed moving for years, stuck in a city where everything kept going wrong. He felt spiritually stuck, emotionally worn down, and financially drained. One day in prayer, he heard the words, "The land is dry. Go where I send you." Within 6 weeks, he relocated to a new state, found a job within 5 days, and was offered free housing for his first month. He said it wasn't luck, it was obedience. God was waiting for me to act. Carla, 72, received divine healing. After a move of faith, Carla had been battling chronic illness for nearly a decade. Her doctors had no answers, but she began to notice something strange. Every time she visited her daughter's house in another town, she felt better, stronger, clearer. Then she felt the nudge. "That place carries my presence. I'm calling you there." She sold everything, moved in faith, and within 3 months her condition stabilized dramatically. She now spends her mornings in prayer and says, "I was dying in the old place, but now I'm alive again." These are not isolated stories. These are divine blueprints, patterns that reveal a truth many ignore. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And when God calls you out, He is always calling you up. Don't let fear convince you that staying is safer. Staying outside of God's will is always the most dangerous place to be. And moving with God will always lead to divine encounters. So now I ask you, what is your testimony in the making? What has God already been doing in you? If you believe you're next, if you feel in your soul that God is also calling you to move, to step into something new, fresh, alive, then write this in the comments as a prophetic witness. I am next. My testimony is being written by God. Say it out loud. Write it boldly because faith moves heaven and your comment is a form of agreement. And if these stories moved you, if you believe your name is being added to the list of those God is relocating, healing, restoring, and blessing, then pause right now and thank Him with your words, with your praise, or even with a super thanks if your heart feels led. Not because you're buying a miracle, but because you're honoring the word and aligning with the move. You are not alone. You are next. You've waited. You've wondered. You've wept in silence, asking God, when will this shifting end? When will the promise become visible? And now this is your confirmation. Your new home is coming. Not next year, not someday. Soon. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. Habakkuk 2:3. The delay was never denial. The silence was never absence. The warfare was never punishment. It was all preparation. Heaven has moved. The angels have been dispatched. The old ground is already drying up beneath your feet, and the soil of the new place is being watered by favor. And God says, I will not send you to a place I have not prepared. I will not call you to go without walking before you. I will not let you step alone into a land I have destined for glory. Your new home will not just be shelter. It will be a sign to your family that God still keeps His word, a sign to your enemies that no weapon formed against you shall prosper, a sign to your soul that the pain had a purpose, and to the heavens that you obeyed and therefore you inherited. This new place may look simple at first, but watch how God transforms it. The moment your foot crosses the threshold, peace will wrap itself around your body. The moment you enter the door, old weights will fall off. The moment you speak praise in that space, heaven will inhabit the room. You will sleep deeply there. You will dream again. You will write things you thought you'd forgotten. You will host people who need healing. You will birth purpose. You will witness miracles. Because this house is not just for you. It's for the legacy that follows you. But here is your final instruction. Be ready. When the moment comes, move quickly. Don't doubt. Don't delay. Don't ask for 1,000 confirmations. This is the confirmation. You prayed for a sign. This message is your sign. You asked for a word. These were your words. You asked, Lord, is it time? And He replies, yes, my child. Your new home is coming soon. Now seal this word. Speak it, write it, believe it. Go now to the comments and type this with everything in your heart. I receive it. My new home is coming soon. I am ready. Say it out loud as you write it. Feel the shift in your spirit. Let the atmosphere around you change. This is no longer hope. It's reality, no longer just a promise. It's the appointed time. And if this journey, this holy unfolding of truth has blessed your spirit, if you felt like God Himself sat beside you and whispered these words into your soul, then you can respond with a word of thanks, not out of duty, not for performance, but because when your spirit is fed, gratitude is the natural response. You may want to leave a super thanks to say, Lord, I honor what you're doing. I'm stepping into agreement. But whether or not you give, know this: the new home is real. The journey was not in vain. And very soon, you'll be walking through the door that heaven built just for you. My beloved, if you stayed with this message until the end, it was because the Spirit of God had something specific to tell you. You didn't click by accident. You weren't scrolling randomly. You were chosen to hear this. Heaven interrupted your day because your life is about to change. This was not just a video. This was a prophetic visitation. This was the answer to your late-night prayers, the voice that woke you up at 3:00 a.m., the dream that didn't make sense until now, the weight you've been feeling lately. This was your confirmation. And now your only job is to believe, to prepare, to move, to receive. The Lord says, tell my people, those who trust me, who seek me, who surrender to me, that their new home is coming. It will be a place of healing, of joy, of divine presence, a place where they will no longer strive but will dwell in peace. So now I ask you, did this word speak to you? Did you feel the fire of confirmation inside your soul? Did your spirit tremble with reverence as the truth was spoken? Then do not leave without sealing it. Go to the comments and write with boldness, this word was for me. I receive it in Jesus' name. Let this be your public agreement with heaven. Let this be your moment of yes. Let the angels record your name next to your faith. And if you feel led to honor this word, if you felt fed, seen, and strengthened by it, consider leaving a super thanks as an act of gratitude and faith. There is no pressure, no demand, only this: give as your spirit leads. And now, before you go, make sure to subscribe to this channel, because what God has started here, He will continue. We are building a prophetic family, a community of people who walk by faith, not by sight, who hear the voice of God in every word, who follow wherever He leads. Share this message. Send it to someone who needs a miracle, someone who's waiting to move but too afraid, someone who's forgotten how to believe. Because when you share this word, you're not just spreading content, you're spreading hope, you're spreading fire, you're spreading heaven. And finally, I leave you with this promise from the Lord. I will bring you into the land I swore to give you, a land of peace, of purpose, and of prosperity. And I, the Lord your God, will dwell with you there. Your new home is coming, and it's closer than you think. Now go and prepare. The shift has already begun. Before I continue, my beloved child, allow me to pause, for there is a sacred secret I've kept just for you, and now is the moment I choose to reveal it. Our Lord meant this for you. Have you ever felt a pull towards something greater, a path uniquely crafted just for you by a higher power? Today, you're exactly where you need to be to make a life-altering decision. The 77-letter invocation prayer isn't just a prayer. It's a divine invitation to unlock the doors of wealth, health, and true happiness. Thousands have already embarked on this journey, finding incredible success and fulfillment. Don't let doubt keep you from your destiny. Embrace the opportunity to transform your life with this powerful prayer. Trust in the path laid out for you. It's time to prosper. Click the link in the description or comments section to unlock the secret of. Go here to get your copy of the 77-letter invocation prayer. My beloved child, now is the time to act. Step forward in faith. God bless you.